Hi there, my name is Hope Dreamville. I'm the LGBTQ plus project lead for the Edmonton Federation of Community Leagues, and this is part 3 of the Identity Education video series. Today we'll be talking about the Q and LGBTQ plus, which can stand for queer and questioning. Here are some important things to first talk about. What identity means in this context. Someone's identity in this case is referring to both their gender identity and their sexual identity. This is their sexuality. This video will be addressing more nebulous or clearly defined subject matter, and thus is for simplicity's sake the identity is defined in advance. Someone's identity may not be simple or clear-cut to them. For some, identity can be very clear. They may be cisgender and gay, or trans and straight, and this has never not really been clear to them. However, in many cases, it's not that clear for a person. A person's identity may be messy or confusing or not clearly defined to them at all, or they may be dealing with some personal issues that may cause issues for that. And it's difficult to measure and understand what their feelings may be, so it's impossible to compare. A person's identity may not just be one thing or may be compounded. As well, a person's identity may not just be straight or gay or trans, but may include a sexuality and a gender identity. Thus, they could be a trans lesbian or a non-binary gay person. This can make things extra confusing depending on what feelings may exist there, and may make it far more murky and far more difficult to decide what someone identifies as. And finally, there are personal issues to consider. A person is not only influenced by their internal factors, but also by external and societal factors. Confusion may exist about identity due to internalized homophobia or transphobia, misconception of what identity is, or fear about what the identity may mean for them if they are that. This can all mean their struggle with their identity and deciding what they identify as. Now to talk about the identities. This video will cover 2 identities that are associated with confusion or uncertainty about one's identity. This does not cover all the terms someone may use for themselves, and in fact they may use previously mentioned terms such as just simply gay or trans to describe their identity. First thing to talk about is queer. Generally speaking, queer is now a catch-all term for all identities that are not heterosexual or cisgender. It is a reclaimed term and has a history of being used as a slur against the LGBT community, however. It is also used in academia, such as queer studies. The most important thing to mention about queer, again, is that it is a catch-all term. It is general and refers to the entire thing, or someone who may not be simply fallen easily into the previously mentioned categories of gay or lesbian, trans, or non-binary. Secondly is questioning. This term refers to someone who may be struggling with or exploring their sexuality and identity. The difference between queer and questioning is questioning refers to someone trying to decide if they are in part of the LGBT community, if they experience same-sex attraction, if their identity is not what's assigned. Queer refers to someone who knows that they are part of the LGBT community, they experience that attraction, their identity does not align, but not quite sure what identity best feels right for them. Things to know about these 2 identities. Reclaiming the word queer. As previously mentioned, the word queer is a reclaimed term, or a term that's in the process of being reclaimed. Queer has a long history of being used to target and attack the LGBTQ plus community, and many people have personal issues with its use. Its definition of being different from normal or strange or weird can also create issues because it seems to separate or other the LGBTQ community as well as contribute to negative stigma about it. However, some have found strength in this term and identify with it. The LGBTQ plus community is in fact different from the norm, and having a term that acknowledges that uniqueness is no crime or no issue. As well, it works as an excellent catch-all term for covering small and unique identities, as well as being less of a mouthful than LGBTQ plus Q community. Something to understand about this, however, again, is that reclaimed slur part. People may not be comfortable having that word attributed to them or identify with that. So if someone does not identify with themselves or give permission for that use, do not refer to someone as queer without their permission. To continue talking about queer, just because queer, which was a previous slur, has been reclaimed, does not mean others have. Do not use these slurs against LGBT people. Some of these may include dyke, tranny, and fag. Again, Do not use these terms. There can be difficulty with identity and feelings. A reason for the use of queer and questioning is that feelings or thoughts are generally not super clear to someone. There's no way to compare what you're feeling to someone else or to a standard definition to really get the identity perfectly down. So thus it can make it extremely difficult to find one to identify as. As well, people experience sexual and gender fluidity. Some people may feel like their sexuality changes, that they may be more attracted to one gender than the other, depending on what's going on. Other identity may change, that they may feel more masculine or more feminine. The word queer and questioning allows for that fluidity a bit more easily. It allows for identities to be a bit more accepted and for people to shift and change as they feel. I hope this video has been helpful in informing you about the identities queer and questioning, and I hope you have a lovely day.